Have you found your ball for the summer?
Oof. Man, I don't think so.
No.
Not yet. Maybe.
Where do you go to find a ball in 2025?
The court, man.
Gotta go to the gym.
I've been off the court, though.
You've been off the court for real?
I've been off the court, yeah.
Just kind of chilling. Working on your jumper at all or no?
I'm injured.
How long, though?
Shit.
Like a little 4 to 6 weeks?
Probably 4 weeks.
Yeah, you're not on like the IR.
I'll be back in action.
But yeah.
Probably like July.
I mean, I feel like you still need a ball while you're rehabbing, right? Just dribble drills, getting shots up. Like it's not game time, but like
a rehab ball.
You need a rehab ball.
But see, I want to treat all balls respectfully, you know?
Yeah.
No one should be a rehab ball.
Nah.
God,
it's messed up.
This is a crazy lingo that the youth has gotten off.
Yeah.
Do you have more or less respect for a girl if they call themselves a ball?
Less? What? If a girl ever called herself a ball, that seems super degrading.
I like the narrative of like, we're not taking it serious either.
Okay.
You know, it's like you could be a girl's ball. We could be the balls.
I think that if a girl calls herself a ball, they're too young. They're probably 22 and younger.
This is a fair statement.
Yeah, you just on the internet lingo too hard. Like
you don't like a girl who's chronically online?
Not when it's like their personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't be getting all your jokes off Twitter and Instagram and shit like that,
exactly. You can pull a little bit from it, but like not all the time.
So your girl can't watch DDG stream? You go over to your girl's crib.
Yo.
Open the door. And she's just tapped in.
Bro, I'm going to be honest. I haven't experienced that yet. But I do think it would be a turnoff if I walked in a girl's door and they were watching streamers.
What if she was watching
like Duke Dennis?
What if she was watching one of your old streams?
That's fire. That's already fire.
Doing homework on her side.
Yeah, bro. You know what? She's already working toward being my ball.
Studying the game plan. Really.
Studying the game. You
film
know
study with us.
For sure.
Literally
that's fire,
film
bro.
session.
You wouldn't be complimented if you walked into someone's house and they were watching our podcast?
I pray that my girlfriend never watches the podcast.
You mean your ball?
I asked her today. I was like, "Can I call you my ball?"
What'd she say?
She got mad.
Damn.
Have you thought about that though? There's probably so many instances of things that we've said and done on this podcast that if somebody watched, they'd be like, "Yo, who are these guys?"
My digital footprint's terrible. I've accepted that.
Both of our digital footprints are absurd. We're bringing you down with us. I think the digital footprint of the three of us combined is absolutely toxic.
I think mine is down the toilet with age just a number. That was a crazy episode title.
I don't think any of us stand on that.
I think I've also put you on the most questionable thumbnails. You know what I mean? Like when there's a thumbnail with like a really controversial title and like a picture of someone, you know, the benefit of being the thumbnail guy is like, that's never going to be me.
He's going to make us look crazy.
Yeah, you guys get the controversial takes and I get, but also that means you guys get more views than me. Your thumbnails be performing better.
Right. Like you put mine over like, did he do it? You know, things like that, which is insane.
I literally did that.
Insane, yo.
I think I put one for Miles where he just looked really upset and it just said divorce.
You know what I mean, bro? Happily, let me not do that. You know, hopefully none of us are the face of any controversy this week. All positive, man. What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Industry Plans Podcast.
What is good? Episode 141.
Oh, look at us getting good with the soundboard and everything. I'm Miles. To my left, we got Osei. To my right, we got Spencer.
Yup.
Back after it was a nice week. It was a pretty good week.
Yeah, I had a good week.
I'm not going to lie. You know, I traveled a little bit, went to Atlanta for a hot little minute, you know, wasn't doing anything outside, which I feel like how was that?
Just vibe, twin, just vibe.
Never touch
Happy June.
Oh, God.
Happy June.
Terrible.
That's not your month.
Ooh, it's all of our months.
Is it?
For sure.
It's everybody's month.
Everybody's month, bro. Pride is everyone's month.
Everyone could be a little prideful this month.
Pride is a time to celebrate like being your full self.
Exactly.
To be honest. That's how I see it.
What are you most proud of this month?
What am I most proud of? A lot of things. I'm proud of...
That was the wrong person to ask. What are you most proud of this month?
I'm proud of 3 years in LA. Well, I'm not there yet, but end of September. You know what I mean? Or beginning of September, whatever you count. I'm proud
so just not this month.
I'm proud of Pod 141. You know what I mean? We made it this far. This is incredible. I'm proud of you, bro.
Thank you.
I think that I see you stress and go through a lot in your career through this podcast, life shit. But you wake up every single day and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it again.
I'm gonna keep
going.
going.
What I'm saying? I'm gonna keep punching through.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of you.
That's all I really want.
You put on that hat and you just go at it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you.
I hate this guy. I hate this guy. I'm proud of us though.
Okay.
I really am. No, Atlanta was smooth, bro. Very nice trip. Always like going out there. Didn't get to see family.
Wait, I don't think Pride Month. I don't think we can turn Pride Month like that.
Oh no, that was crazy. We just turned it into our thing.
Yeah, literally.
It's not our thing.
I don't think that's how we need to open.
It's not about us.
I don't think it's about us this month.
Not the right spin.
Not quite the spin we were looking for.
That was a very cisgender male.
Yeah, for sure.
Super
Did I use
straight.
that right?
Well, I think cis right is just a man, like someone that's born a man that's still a man, or born a woman and still a woman.
Not the right month. Not the right month for these questions.
No, that's what cis means.
Can we
Default
ask
settings.
more questions this month?
Yeah,
Okay. It's a safe space this month?
I think so.
Okay.
For sure.
Good.
Bro, I feel like you're not living if you're not asking questions.
You know, that's all. I live to ask bad questions. I think, I try to ask good questions a little bit, but I ask a lot of dumb questions, especially when we get into this. I'm staying away from Pride though.
I had some questions about Pride, so I can't lie. I didn't go with my girl to the Pride Festival in West Hollywood, but I did go for a long run, and I did run through Pride. So I'll recap that on the Patreon. You know, if you want to hear us talk about Pride, definitely tap in with the Patreon. We'll put the link in the description. Come fuck with us.
If you want to hear us talk about Pride, that'll be the place to go. Anything interesting happened to you guys this week before we get into the topical shit? Any fun stories?
I mean, the only thing that sticks out to me is I was giving like a customer service rep like a name, you know, when you have to spell a name over the phone, and like there's normally like maybe a language barrier and you have to do it like super phonetically. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing that caught me off is he kept calling me ma'am, which I'm like not going to correct you. Like I was impersonating someone with a somewhat feminine name. So I'm like, okay, you know, I don't have the deepest voice. You can keep calling me ma'am. But then he would like phonetically spell stuff. And every time he got to P, it was P like Poppy. And that just killed me, bro. Like the first time I just like giggled. Second time I got P for Poppy, I like laughed. And third time I had to like mute. Cause I was like, yo, no way this is your like call out for P.
Poppy being the first P you go to.
Poppy.
I'm trying to think what I would say.
Yeah,
popcorn?
like go. Like you have to go quick. Popcorn? What's your P?
Potato.
Potato?
Yeah.
I think I'd say plane.
Plane.
Okay.
Pluto.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you learn a lot about someone when you ask them to phonetically spell something over the phone, because I think the words that their mind immediately goes to is uniquely personal.
So that was Spencer's interesting thing of the week. Phonetically spelling something out to a customer service rep.
Yeah, I got on stream a little late this week, but it ended up being a really good stream. But what stream always makes me realize is how much lingo I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I feel like ball, you know, we're catching up on. That's probably more popular in the last few weeks, especially after Streamer University.
Yeah.
But someone was in stream and they were like, go raid someone else's stream. And I was like, what is that? And they explained it's when you basically send everybody in your stream to another person's stream. And I was like, gang, respectfully, there's 3 people in here, so I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing our stream?
Yeah, someone needs to raid this stream. And he was like, bet. And then he didn't help anybody raid my stream, which is upsetting.
He didn't get his friends to join the stream?
Nah. The dude's name was King Von 1344. And I was like, I was already scared off rip.
He wasn't,
you know what I'm saying?
He wasn't a trustworthy individual.
It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
The rest of my stream.
Hey, O-Block was outside. They weren't they weren't available to raid the stream.
Nah. I mean, I think that my week was pretty mundane. All I do is work. I'm going to get out of that though.
Yeah.
That's a serious life change I'm making. I'm going to come to the pod with one interesting topic every week that's non-work related. That'll be my goal.
Do something random.
You know? Little thing for ha-has every week.
You sound like shit, bro. That's what she's on.
That's another
every time I see her, she's on some, I'm not going to talk about work anymore, and then talks about work for the next hour.
I'm learning not to do that, though.
Okay.
I'm working on that. I'm working on enjoying the moment more. But on, I guess, still work-related topics, the most interesting thing that came out this week was the top 50 LA rappers list.
Yeah.
Being an LA-based hip-hop podcast, this is exactly our lane.
Yeah, I had to talk about it.
And I felt weird because I didn't know or give a fuck about half the list.
Damn, tough place to start.
Is that bad?
No, I agree with you.
Is that bad?
I agree with you. And just when you, like, Complex knows exactly what they're doing, because when you open it and the first rapper you see is number 50, Blueface.
They know, they want us to get mad.
Right.
They wanted to get me riled up.
Do you think that was that crazy that Blueface is the top 50 LA rapper? Low-key has some slaps.
Some of this is on me for not reading what Complex was trying to get across in this list.
Do you now know what they were trying to get across?
I'm saying that I don't give Complex the benefit of the doubt in reading the little couple paragraphs.
Oh, the criteria.
I just read the list.
Yeah.
And choose to talk shit.
Well, first, do you think they were right or wrong? Is this list right or wrong? In its entirety?
I think it's fine.
You think it's fine?
I think they were trying to count influence on today's culture.
Yeah.
And I think someone like a Blueface, they gave Draco his props. That type of shit makes sense in that context to me.
Yeah, so I mean, I didn't think it was the worst list ever. I've definitely seen worse lists. There was definitely way too many people on here that I'm like, yo, who the fuck are you?
But there was also just older people too.
And that is my problem.
Wait, why is that your problem?
Because, bro, I don't want to hear about Ice-T. I'm so sorry. I don't give a fuck about Ice-T. I think Punch put it perfectly. Right? Because Punch tweeted at the list and he was like, yo, like, debates are great, but I don't really think it's fair to compare eras. That was basically his take, is like, yes, the legends, it's so great that the legends get the props they deserve for starting a foundation and creating something that we could build off of. But just what's going on today and the level of skill in like music today, like, is not comparable.
What modern people did they miss out on though?
What modern people did they miss out on? I don't think they missed out on a lot of modern people. You know, but I'm more like, I don't need Ice-T and Be Real in my top 10.
But I'm also not mad at them putting Eazy-E and like Nate Dogg on there.
But you know what I mean? That's 90s. And so it's like 80s is where you lose me.
Okay. Ice-T is 80s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No wonder I've never listened.
Yeah, it's like in Hoop. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear about fucking Bob Cousy. You know what I mean? Or I don't even want to hear about Wilt when we're talking GOATs. I don't want to hear about Wilt. I don't want to hear about Bill Russell. You know what I'm saying? But you can bring me like some people from the 80s. Like Magic and Larry still play.
I think that we have a skewed perspective because we came to LA 2018, 2019.
2018, yeah.
You know what I mean? Naturally, that's the era of music that we're... Oh, God.
Clock that.
Is that part of the lingo that you picked up on?
Yeah, for sure.
Clock that.
Clock that. You don't like that?
I think that's what we care about. You know, that's the new era that we grew up in. But I think that there's a lot of LA natives who probably grew up having their parents listen to some of these rappers that we're not familiar with. So I don't think we could be the authority on like the LA rappers necessarily. Obviously, we're going to talk shit about the list, but like, I don't know. Once I got through like 10 niggas I didn't know, I was going to be like, maybe I'm just not as tapped into the LA rap scene as I thought I was.
All right, in terms of people we do know, does Kendrick deserve number one right now?
Yeah. Who else is going to be number one? I love they gave Tyler his flowers. I think that
was fire.
The TDE people besides obviously Kendrick, J-Rock, Soul, and Q, I think were broken up fairly because I think all of them should be in the top 50 because they're all obviously super talented, very influential, but Schoolboy's the only one that I think really broke through on the mainstream level. That Oxymoron project, I think, was really big for everyone. Man of the Year, Studio.
Collard Greens.
Yeah. It actually had me thinking about Q a little bit because if he had continued that run that he was on for like 2-3 years, he would have been top 5, in my opinion. Because he had broken through to the mainstream on such a huge level. Like, I think he would have been in the same conversation, not like skill-wise as Kendrick, but like on a mainstream level being like seen in that way. You know what I mean?
I think Q does have this knack for making hits.
Yeah.
You kind of saw it when he even doubled back on a Blank Face and got like a That Part. Or what was the other one that was kind of big on there?
On Blank Face?
It might have just been That Part.
I think that was the only one that really caught.
But I think Q knows how to make a hit. I think that his motivation in this music shit drastically shifted.
For sure.
And I think that he really almost was like, as I get older, I want to do way less of this club banger, druggy music and really get on my dad raps.
Yeah, he had a kid and he left the hood.
Know? So I think that kind of changed it for him, but still dope to kind of reflect and see that he was able to really make a lane for himself in this, doing it his way.
Absol was too low.
Why is that?
Because if you put his discography up against all the people that he was like 40 something, right?
Like 48.
Yeah, if you put his discography up against a lot of the people, like dude from the Dog Pound, like I get that's like a legendary group, but like one member of the Dog Pound is in your top 20 just because he was in the Dog Pound. Like, what are we doing? Like, Ab-Soul has a really impressive solo discography if you like hip hop.
But does Ab-Soul have influence?
I was gonna say
no.
Should Draco be 30 spots higher than Ab-Soul?
Should Draco be 30 spots higher than Ab-Soul? Yeah.
Okay.
Draco, well, maybe not 30, maybe 20. Draco was too low for me too. Draco's top 10 for me.
In terms of him influencing the sound today?
And bodies of work. Draco has a really incredible discography.
Wow, okay.
Like, if you're really good, like...
he was just in the game, like, so... like short of a time. That's why I'm interested in this conversation. Like, why do you feel like his bodies of work are that impactful?
Well, I think it is a lot about the influence.
Yeah.
And it's just like really high quality. You know what I mean? It's something that like it was a moment for me personally, and I think for a lot of people, where a whole new set of like vernacular was like introduced into the zeitgeist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he had his own language.
You see those back-to-back SAT words that he used? Vernacular and then zeitgeist.
Vernacular and the zeitgeist.
Fire. I fuck with that.
Thanks, bro. And like the Cold Devil project, top to bottom, fire. The Free Draco project, fire. Like he has projects that are really strong, top to bottom.
So Long Beach is LA.
Yeah, I think it's counted.
Yeah.
Okay. So that makes a lot more
Why?
sense.
Because Vince is in there?
Vince and Snoop.
Yeah.
Snoop is Long Beach.
Yeah, that's that's LA County, right?
I want to say DJ Quick is from Long Beach too. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, Long Beach definitely counts as LA.
Higher. I think Vince could have been higher. But no.
Well,
influence.
yeah.
Influence.
Okay, before let me hear your top 5.
Personal?
However you want to take it.
Because yeah, like if I'm saying who is actually the most influential, I'd probably go Kendrick, Tyler. This is in no particular order right now. This is just I'm naming 5.
And this is your personal.
Not personal. What like if I'm saying Miles,
like what you think the best
and influential
LA rappers are though.
Yes,
We're
yes.
clear on that. Best LA rappers.
Yes, and I'm counting influence heavily.
Okay.
I go Kendrick, Tyler, Ice Cube, Kendrick, Tyler, Ice Cube, Snoop, and that 5th spot is hard. YG.
Oh,
YG.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's my 5. Ooh, wrong.
Huh.
I'm so sorry. Oh. Because is it Nip or YG?
It's Nip for me.
Oh,
Mine goes in order: Kendrick, Tupac, Snoop, Ice Cube, Nip.
so we're putting Pac in the conversation.
I'm not putting Pac in the conversation. He's not from LA.
Is he? So he's a New York rapper.
No.
So when you're making your then where's he from?
He doesn't have a place.
I do feel like LA accepted him though.
Bro, he is an LA rapper. To live and die in LA.
I think
California love. He is an LA rapper.
And that's also where I kind of go against you a little bit too.
Why?
Because he spent a lot of time in the Bay Area.
He did.
And I feel like a lot of what he was repping was West Coast, not LA.
And doesn't he talk about Oakland more than he talks about LA? Or am I mistaken?
He talks about LA a lot.
I think
he lived in LA.
I think he talks about Oakland a lot, and he lived in Oakland.
He talks about it. I don't think he talks about it nearly as much.
I think that the if we're being hyper correct, I don't think he should be included.
Dog, that's an LA rapper.
He's not from here.
That's an LA rapper.
Okay, but with the caveat that we're doing only people born in LA. You can't include Pac.
No, I'm not taking Pac off my list because that is the second best
He's
LA
just
rapper
factually
ever.
not from LA.
Dog, I don't give a fuck where you were born. And I guess he was raised in New York too. I don't give a fuck. That's an LA rapper, bro. That's an LA
He's
rapper.
literally in Juice, which is all based in New York.
Well, the game agrees with me, and he has a little
So
bit
you
more
wanna
say
stand
over
on
LA
the
rap.
same-
I'm leaning more towards Spencer's opinion because I don't feel strongly about it, but I do feel like LA embraced Pac heavy, and I know I don't think he would. I mean, he really did spend a lot of time in the Bay, but it does seem like a lot of people from LA were not necessarily happy about him not making the list. So I feel like that speaks to
Who I didn't hear anyone else trip really.
I don't know. I think the commentary that I did see around the list was why isn't Pac here? And then I saw the stuff about the game where he was like, I should be higher.
All right, Spencer can have Pac in his. Who's your 5?
Kendrick, Tyler, Nip, The Game. And I want to put someone from NWA, but I don't know if I'm putting Ice Cube or putting Eazy-E.
I mean, you have to put Ice Cube.
I like Eazy-E better though.
You have to put Ice Cube though.
Why?
Because he wrote everything.
But I like Eazy-E's music better.
Eazy-E's music does not exist without Ice Cube.
So you're saying influence in writing, like his delivery doesn't matter.
Like everything.
Even if he has better songs.
I'm saying that most of those songs are probably the product of Ice Cube teaching him how to rap.
Shit, I might not even put NWA in there because
I think
to be honest, like I don't be listening to 90s rap like that. So
But
I might put YG in there because that's more my speed.
But you do have to include one of them if we're talking about influence.
Damn, you got a lot of rules, bro.
Like
I know, Mr.
Yo, this man got guidelines all over my list.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just
I
like,
didn't know you were king of the city.
I don't think you can't not. You have to include NWA or at least someone from that era. To me,
I did, but
Yeah.
his list is his list.
I think that you're just wrong about Tupac. The most interesting conversation to me is YG versus Nip.
Why?
I think they kind of occupy a similar-ish lane. Am I off in that or no?
I think you are.
Okay.
I think they were contemporaries, but I don't think they make the same kind of music.
YG's more party records,
Right.
Yeah,
and Nip is more get money music,
Right.
For the street niggas. To me.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say like get money music, but like street poet type shit. Whereas YG is really just about the clubs.
So then,
I think Nip is far more skilled as a writer than YG. Well, I don't
Agreed.
want to say as a writer, as a rapper.
As a rapper.
YG writes really sticky songs, really big hit records. He's a great writer. But I think if we're just looking at like ability as a rapper, I'm taking Nip 7 days out the week.
so then, what I would probably do then is I'd put both in my top 5
That's fair.
because I don't think it has to be a one or the other. So like for the old school, you have. I just want to cover all my bases because Kendrick's the best. Tyler's for the weird, more musical side of things.
Well, I mean, we can. Do you want to finish your list before we have the Tyler discussion?
I mean, what is the Tyler discussion?
Well, I mean, I didn't put him, and I don't even think he's top 10 LA rapper to me.
Whoa.
Oh,
You're saying Tyler the Creator is not a top 10 LA rapper?
yeah, that is kind
No,
of
that's crazy. That's
yeah, why? That
is
doesn't
wild.
make any sense to me at all.
Because I don't think why I love Tyler so much is because of his ability to rap. Like he's a very good rapper, but I almost don't like. I think to me his most impressive album isn't a hip hop album. So like that doesn't like Igor doesn't add to his best rapper resume at all to me.
He's rapping.
You're an Igor guy.
He's rapping
Yeah.
all over that album.
Not all over it.
Almost every song has a rap verse, though.
Yeah.
He's a great technical rapper.
He's a really good technical rapper, yes. He is.
No, he's a great technical rapper.
Yeah, he's great.
He's better than everyone you named on your list as a technical rapper besides Kendrick.
He's better than everyone on my list.
As a technical rapper. Just talking about that. Not even talking all the music, being a producer, all that
Yeah, bro,
stuff.
Wolf is fucking amazing.
He also represents an entire portion of LA that I feel like is often neglected. I feel like he also like literally like if we're talking about like cultural influence outside of music is probably the one to do it for the modern.
I don't even want. I'm sitting here staring at Tyler on this poster on my wall. Yeah, I'll back off that one.
Yeah, Tyler's
you know how I feel about Tyler.
Tyler's top 5.
Tyler can take Snoop's spot for me.
Do we have any other gripes about that top 50?
Not in particular.
Look at
I did see
Tyga.
a lot of people I didn't necessarily know, but I'm also not super familiar with West Coast music, to be honest.
There's a lot of old people, and there was like a couple. There was a couple groups.
West Side?
The Far Side, the Dog Pound, and like those members got all listed out. So like I wasn't familiar with them, but I was like, oh,
I feel like they all have like songs, like
Cypress Hill.
like records that we might recognize, but like in terms of like impactful bodies of work that are just like we're gonna be listening to forever. Like I don't know. I can't speak to that.
yeah, bro, fuck Ice-T.
Yo, hey, that's mad disrespectful.
Fuck I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Damn.
I just know Ice-T is the goofy actor.
I mean, if we want to stay in old nigga rap, Clipse is back together.
Hey.
No Malice, Pusha T have finally made their long-awaited return.
Yeah.
I mean, on a personal level, this was one of the first 5 rap albums I like intentionally listened to.
Lord
Getting
Willin'?
into the not Lord Willin', actually, it was a Hell Hath No Fury.
Fire.
This is like probably the best rap duo ever.
No, but
Who?
Outkast.
Yeah.
Oh, Outkast. You're right. Second best though.
I'm not mad at second best duo.
I'm not mad at that because Outkast is, I was being a little disrespectful. But Malice, as I think most people know, stepped away from the game, obviously, as Pusha T's solo career kind of took off, went to become a pastor, focus on different things in life. I think that it's common knowledge now, too, that when we talk about the drug dealer raps, doing all this stuff, Malice was the one that was really living a lot of it. Pusha was his younger brother who was still involved in it. But like, I think that Malice was really, really affected by the things that he saw and did early on in his career, early on in his life, to kind of change things for his family. And that was the motivation behind him stepping away. Like, if a nigga goes to church right after their rap career, I believe everything that they said.
Yeah, me
like,
too.
I don't think
Me
Malice
too.
said any lies in his shit.
No, me too.
So once that nigga retired, I'm going back listening to shit with a little bit different ear. Like, oh shit, this nigga does kind of sound like an evil villain.
Yeah.
But yeah, the new track is great. Pharrell production, really dope, Cause-inspired album cover art.
It's done by Cause.
Yeah. It just feels all like the right timing, the right combination, the right everything for this to be Grammy nominated, one of the best rap albums of the year. I feel super excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, we can start at the single Ace Trumpets, right?
Yeah.
Incredible track.
Yeah.
Incredible track, bro. To be honest, both verses insane, and that is like the best Pharrell beat I've heard in years.
You like the PP bar?
So
Nigga said his diamonds look like PP bar one. That's kind of crazy.
Well, in the trailer, that's like one of the 2 bars you get, and I was like, "Yo, I don't need to hear Pusha T talking about PP."
You know,
like that's insane. But in the course of the song,
you could have never dealt drugs, and you saying PP, bro. I don't believe anything you say after that.
I mean, I'm rocking with it now. A couple listens into the song,
Yeah,
I think it's a good line.
it's a great line.
Do you feel like Clipse is going to be well received in 2025?
Yes.
What does that mean?
I'm saying well received, like you say Grammy nominated, so I believe you're speaking to like it'll be critically acclaimed, right? The project.
I don't think
but
the mainstream is going to be.
But do you think that's what I'm saying?
No.
Like, do you think the public is not only ready, but like really want to consume this type of rap?
I don't think they care. I don't think this.
You're asking like if they're gonna get a hit?
Do you think anybody below 30 really cares besides
this
us?
is really big for annoying rap fans,
right? For like traditional, like we need real rap back fans.
I don't think you should label that as annoying rap fans. I think this is really big for anybody that really likes rap music. Clipse's sound is not dated. Pharrell is one of the best producers ever, and this is like him coming back to form in like one of the best ways that we've seen him in a long time. Whatever like they bring out of Pharrell needs to be studied, bro, because like he has some of his best records ever with them. And he hasn't sounded this good in years.
That's a fact.
He's kind of fallen off a little bit when it comes to the music shit. There's been some bad beats in the last couple years, overdone 808s, but like this sounds really good.
One thing that's super fly too about this rollout is how Pharrell is like incorporating it into the runway shit.
Yeah.
Like he's been teasing like new music from them, like on the Louis V runway for like probably like a year now.
Yeah, I think anyone that likes luxury will like this.
Yeah,
and people that
rap.
like luxury rap, people that are into the Louis V fashion shit, you know what I mean? The whole album's recorded in Louis V in Paris. They talk about it a lot. Pusha T had the best look at the Met Gala. Like I think those worlds go hand in hand.
But Miles is right though. I think the more traditional rap fan, if you're a fan of Clipse and you're a fan of more traditional rap and hip hop, that's who they're really serving at this point. They're not necessarily. I would assume that they're not necessarily trying to gain new fans. Maybe
exactly.
I
Maybe
agree.
they are, but if so, that shouldn't be the main goal in my opinion.
Yeah, and I say the annoying rap fan because I think that there does need to. As niggas who grew up as lyrical rap fans,
Yeah.
I think we grew up and can look back at 15 to 18-year-old us and be like, you were probably a little corny and pretentious.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I think that is just the overwhelming majority of young niggas who are listening to this music. Like, I think that when you dive into lyrical rap, Pusha T, Clipse, go do your history and all that shit, you do become a bit of like just a nerd for this shit, you know?
Yeah.
I don't even think that it's necessarily being like nerdy about it. I think it just becomes a part of your personality. And it's like, you got these kids who aren't selling no drugs, like don't actually relate to any of this stuff, but it just means so much to them. I do think that that's just really funny outside looking in.
Now,
But is that different than like the underground?
what do you mean?
The kids that relate so heavily to that music?
No, because I think that shit is more on the fashion tip
Than this?
and wanting to like fuck baddies and shit like that.
No. I kind of hear you, but I think just sonically it's completely different. Like I think they could both be on fashion tips. You know what I'm saying? Because we just talked about them aligning themselves with
Tight.
Louis V and all that stuff.
I
But
just-
it's sonically it's much different.
Attainable fashion though. Like I feel like what the niggas that like what the fashion that Pusha T and No Malice are talking about is unattainable. They're talking about wealth that niggas cannot relate to and a lifestyle that niggas are not living. Whereas like I feel like the underground niggas are talking about something that feels moderately attainable to some of these kids.
I would argue that Louis V sneakers are cheaper than Rick Owens.
I'm not buying either, so I don't know.
I mean, I just don't like the narrative that if you're under 30 and you're listening to the clips, that makes you like corny or weird. Like,
I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I don't think it does.
I don't think we.
I think that's what Miles. I think that's what Miles was saying.
Oh, okay.
That's what I got from a Miles.
I don't think that's the message we're trying to convey, though.
That's not what I'm trying to say. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Because also I don't think that it should be like, oh, this doesn't matter because the 16-year-olds don't care about it. Like, I hate that narrative too. Like, there's a ton of people plus 30 that are like still love rap music and are checking for new releases from people that cater more to them.
It's going to be It's going to get a lot of critical acclaim
and a lot of play from those people. You're acting like those people don't play the records.
I just don't think that it's going to be impactful in the mainstream.
Okay, but I do have a question. I do have a question because I want to speak more to your point.
Yeah.
What do you think content-wise makes it important? What do they have to come out the gate talking about that's going to catch your ear? And
now that is where I don't have an answer because it's an interesting time because I'm interested in it because what is No Malice gonna rap about? Mm-hmm. You know, we got a snippet of it on the second verse of this Ace Trumpet song, but it was pretty tame. He didn't really get too deep on anything. It was more like flex shit. You know what I mean? He talked about spirituality for like 2 bars, but that was really most of it was just like talking shit. So I do want to hear his perspective on things because that's a super unique perspective. Somebody that like came from it really for real, like in the weeds, and then totally turned away from that life for 20 years, and now is making a new record with his brother. I don't know what he's gonna talk about, but I'm 100% ready to tune in and listen to that album.
I think there's gonna be a track like the last track on Lord Willing, where it's kind of like a storytelling track. And I think Malice will have a verse where he kind of goes into the full thing. Cause I think that like, this is a situation where I don't want to hear him talk about it a bunch throughout the album where it takes me out. Like I want like bits and pieces here or there of like where you're at it, but I want like just the full story, get it out there, tell your mindset where you've been. Let me get one track.
Yeah.
Let me get a cohesive track, crazy beat. Like let's story tell, let's sit, let's listen, let's learn a little bit about you.
Yeah.
But I think the majority of the album is probably just going to be cash shit. Talking about money, talking about drug dealing shit. I don't think Pusha T throughout the last couple years of his career, even as he's matured and grown as an artist, gotten a bit of a bigger platform, I don't think he's ever really changed the topic up too much. I think that people in the Freddie Gibbs, Boldy James, West Side Gun, all of these type of like drug rappers just kind of lean on technical ability and unique flows and great production more so than just really switching up the subject matter a lot. So I don't think we're going to get anything new there, really.
Okay, I don't like you lumping them like that.
That is literally, those are the most direct contemporaries for Pusha T and No Malice.
I mean, but like Freddie doesn't do that. Freddie doesn't just rap about coke. Did you hear the last project?
I think
You only die twice or whatever it was called.
I think
where he's talking to the devil throughout the entire project, like a great concept album. He has like a bunch of those.
The majority of what Freddie Gibbs talks about,
on
his every song is about getting money from the drug game, the situations that getting that money has put him in. Everything is surrounding this drug dealer lifestyle. To me, 99% of it. Because then even when he gets into his more personal tracks where he's talking about growth and learning from those experiences, it's learning from experiences that he got through the drug dealing shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like, I think that it all lives in that same world.
Yeah. I think that world, there's a lot to say about that world. And there's so much to say about that lifestyle. Like,
is there really?
Yeah,
I love this, and keep in mind, like, I love this genre of rap. I'm not downing any of this. I think those rappers that I just named, I would say are the best niggas making rap music right now.
Yeah.
There is nobody fucking with them again from a technical standpoint. If I'm turning on some rap shit, especially on a lyrical vibe, it's always gonna be them. So I'm not downplaying this. I think that they know that the subject matter is relatively niche and limited. So they're like, I can't come with no bullshit bars. I have to find a way to keep making this interesting.
And I think they talk about the way that maybe the drug game impacts the rest of their life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they'll talk about relationships and of course there will be like this undertone of, well, I have to leave the house and go sell the dope. So that's going to affect my relationship with my significant other. But like, that's cool. When I watch movies, I'm not watching movies about someone like me.
Yeah, I watch mad superhero movies.
You know what I'm saying?
But I can still put them all under the superhero category, no? Even though each story is a little bit different.
Yeah, you could do that.
That's what I'm doing with the drug rappers.
Okay.
I want to change topics a little bit within this topic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a little bit messy. Do you think that we get Birdman bars, Wayne bars, Drake bars? Because to be honest, the timing, like we all see the timing. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think
Kendrick just took down the biggest rapper alive. Obviously, all this started because of Clipse. You know what I'm saying? The Clipse and Birdman and Wayne shit.
Oh shit.
So do they have bars for them?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't think it's all.
So you don't think that they have any bars for any of them?
I think that Pusha's gonna have bars, a bar for Drake at least.
Okay.
I think he's gonna throw a jab.
Because you low-key do have to do that, especially if you want this album to get any visibility.
And it's a well-documented beef, all that.
Pusha's gonna talk shit. I mean, Pusha already had bars for Ye on the single.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You see Ye tweet, I miss when we were friends.
Yo, you
God
bitch.
damn it.
You bitch, Kanye.
God damn it, bro.
Yo, did you hear him remix his song?
No.
The HH song?
Oh, yeah.
Into
I heard
Hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
Yo,
This nigga just trying shit, bro.
that guy's a clown, bro.
This nigga is
For
just
sure.
trying shit.
For sure.
Man, so sad about Kanye. But I did want to say, Pharrell produced a song and Birdman never paid him.
Yeah.
And that was how this shit basically started between Clipse and Birdman and Pusha T and Wayne. Drake inherited the beef. Obviously, we know what happened after that.
I see. Yeah, I bet he has bars for him. I think this is gonna be an awesome album. I am gonna be a big advocate that we react to this entire album on stream and put out a video because I do think this is gonna be a cultural moment, whether or not like the youth embrace it. Like the youth, yes, they drive culture, but that's not all culture is.
That's a fact.
Just because they're all watching the streamers and listening to Rage doesn't mean that's all we need to say is moving culture.
But I also think
Like we have our own culture as like late 20s.
Yeah, and I think we have a unique perspective to being like late 20s and being into this music, right? Like,
Yeah.
like who else is going to be? Well, I don't want to assume, but I will assume that there's not going to be a lot of people listening to this album on stream, right?
Yeah.
Like I think we're able to mix those two worlds, and there's definitely a fan base for that. So
Yeah, I think I just get frustrated about this conversation because that was something I think you and me both experienced going into the major label system. How nobody wanted to talk about Griselda. Nobody wanted to talk about none of these people. You know what I mean? And like, that's fine. Like maybe it's not going to make you a ton of money, but that doesn't make it irrelevant. And that doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about it, shouldn't celebrate it, shouldn't listen to it. You know what I mean? Just if it's not moving like a ton of units.
I think you should listen to it. I think you should celebrate it. But I think that saying it's not culture is not wrong. Or it is wrong. Because it is culture. This is hip hop culture to its core. This is black culture. This is all the cultures that matter in this, you know?
for sure.
I don't know if it's shifting culture or pushing the conversation forward. That's more so what I'm saying when I say that. You know, I don't think this is going to change my perception of anyone involved. I think it's going to further cement greatness because I also don't think anyone that's involved in this has anything less to prove. Pusha T's legacy is cemented. Pharrell's legacy is cemented. Even Malice's resume is cemented. These niggas have done what they've done in this game, and now they're just blessing us with more music, which we should always love and appreciate because we love to see our legends continuing to have success, continuing to put out music. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean, when Braun won his Laker chip, were you rooting for him?
I think that moved culture because he's in the GOAT debate. I don't think there's anyone, I don't think Pusha T with this album being the greatest album of his career is gonna that's not gonna change his position in the rap game.
You don't think?
No.
I think it could.
Where do you have Pusha all time? Last thing, get out of here real quick.
Pusha all time?
All time real quick.
Probably top 40?
Ooh, okay, what do you think?
Yeah, top 40 for sure.
Top 40? I say Pusha T top 25.
Oh, wow.
Top 25. Is Freddie Gibbs better than Pusha T?
Yes.
Oof. That's hard. That's a hard question.
It's really hard, but I have to go with my instinct.
I like Freddie Gibbs. I don't think I've listened to enough of his music to say that he's better. To be honest.
Go Pusha T?
I'm going Pusha T.
I'm gonna go Pusha T.
It's probably the right answer.
I'm gonna go Pusha T.
But I'll die on that Freddie Gibbs hill.
I just thought about grinding. Okay. Do we want to go?
Just take us to Plaqueboymax.
That's what I was gonna do.
Just
because
I made you talk about clips. Go and talk about
right,
streamers.
right. This guy make me talk about. I love clips, right?
I thought you did.
I'm a really big clips fan.
thought
I don't
you
want
did.
it to come. You always make me seem like I hate.
I just don't know when you became 8 years younger than me.
I'm
Damn.
not.
I don't know when that age switched and we can't like see eye to eye on this shit.
Again,
Miles, you said you switching up, bro.
I think that I'm speaking from the perspective that what I maybe love and am used to is not the best and doesn't have to be the best. That's all I'm saying. But Plaqueboymax released some bullshit.
Oh,
Damn.
shit.
Yo, don't start this off with hate, bro. That's
I'm
insane.
sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I had to say.
Because what Plaqueboymax is doing is super
we've
innovative.
done it.
You know
Get
what
off
I'm
his
saying?
dick, bro. We talked about Plaqueboymax.
Nah.
What you're doing is mad cool. You took the cave and you remixed it and you're a young black kid, so you're going crazy. Shout out to you, bro. I fuck with your streams. You know what I mean? All that shit. The music was average, but it's your first tape, so that's okay. Plaqueboymax, prominent streamer, does the In the Booth series, has a lot of famous rappers come on his stream. This entire year, back end of last year, he's been working on his debut solo project. I think that the assumption from a lot of people was that, he has all these people coming through, he makes music on stream. This is gonna be a very feature-heavy album. We're probably gonna get some stuff that we've heard him make on stream, all that. A couple months back, he was like, I'm not gonna make any of my personal music on stream. Anything that you guys are gonna hear from my tape, anything I'm gonna put out, I'm gonna make by myself because I don't want the judgment of people while I'm making my art. He's like, you can't make art while a bunch of people are watching and commenting on everything. I had a lot of respect for him for that because that was the first time I was like, you as a musical artist are taking this seriously. And I wanna also, I'm hating for the Kiki Keys or whatever, right? But I do have respect for him because I think anyone trying to do a creative endeavor like this, it's really hard. You deserve your credit for it, right? All that to the side, this was an 8-pack of mid, bro. And did you hear what this little nigga was talking about, bro? This is some of the craziest lyrics I've ever heard in my life, bro.
Wait, so I didn't listen to the project. Was he a vocalist on this?
He raps on every song. He's the only artist.
What?
Yeah.
There's no features?
No features.
It's just, I don't know how I missed that.
Just Plaqueboymax. And, well, no, don't say that.
Sorry.
Don't say that. Because the kid has, and that's what I'm saying too, he's released verses where I'm like, that's not bad. I don't even hate his verse on Pink Dreads. I think that fits the vibe, whatever. You have like the world in your hands right now. You are the one in music right now, especially for the young niggas, right? Like you have a lot of potential. People are looking at you to like, just say something. Every song is about, she want to suck my dick. I got more money than you. 5-star. Come on, man. I just need a little bit of depth. I know you heard it. You listen to it on stream. Make sure to time to the radio's dead streams every single Saturday, noon PST. What are your thoughts on it?
So the reason I didn't want to go too hard on him is because he does have the moment. You know what I'm saying? And I think everything he's doing is innovative. And actually, this is a good question for you. Is there an engineer that has made like a project with other artists? Because I feel like what he's doing is like very like DJ Khaled, right? But like he's actually engineering all this music and pulling in the producers and the artists. Does anybody else do that?
What do you mean by, I think people are getting like, so what the engineer does is just the person who records the vocals, right?
Yeah.
And what he's doing.
Exactly.
So
like, he records
yes,
and cuts up the vocals.
Yes, right? So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So I'm saying a lot of people have started off as engineers, but they're typically producers. So if you look at like Rob Beisel, SZA's main guy, started off as an engineer. 206 Derek does all of Don Toliver shit, moves around with him, started off as an engineer.
Yeah.
Not too many of these engineers make the jump to artist.
Right, but what I'm saying is he made the Atlanta project first and he released that.
Yeah.
Which doesn't have his
But the
vocals.
Atlanta project,
one song
the
does.
Atlanta project isn't any different than the thing that he did with UK. That's not a project. Those are just the songs that he made on stream and he just put them out.
But Jose's right. I've never heard of an engineer doing that. I've heard of producers doing that.
Yeah,
but I've never heard of somebody that didn't make the beat or record the vocal putting out a project.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
he did record the vocal.
I mean, perform the vocal.
Oh.
I have never heard of somebody that didn't make the beat or perform the vocal putting out a project.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like what he's doing is very innovative. Am I correct in that or no?
I think DJ Khaled's a good comp because I don't believe Khaled made one of those beats.
That's why I'm like, is it innovative? If niggas have done it before,
That's what I'm asking you.
I'm like, I don't think so. I don't. My inclination is to say no, but I'm trying to hesitate. I want to give him credit.
Oh, okay. I see what you're
You
saying.
know what I mean? Like I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because I think that what he's doing is important because I think that when we first came on here, we're like, oh, it's cool that he's exposing a different side of the industry, people who don't get access to the studio and things like that. Now you get to really see what it's like to see your favorite artist make music. It feels like you're kind of pulling the curtain back on the creative process, which is really, really dope. But I think that in that, people have also kind of misconstrued all that Max is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when you go to like the Atlanta thing that he put out or the UK one that he put out previously, it's like, I don't love that Max is getting all the credit. I don't love that the producers aren't talked about a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that what was dope about this project is I feel like a lot of the positive stuff that I am hearing is the sound design stuff, the production stuff, all of the kind of not Max related things are on point, and some of those producers are getting a little bit more shine off that, which is dope. But like Max himself before this project wasn't the most impressive to me because it kind of just felt like he was just doing The Cave with Kenny without making the beats.
Okay, so and then that's what I was trying to get to is it innovative? I think the collective answer right now is doesn't seem like it, right?
No.
Okay, cool. So, but I think he definitely has a moment right now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Now, do I think that releasing his own project with just his own music was a misstep? I don't think so. Because I think if you have the moment, you say, fuck it, and you just do the thing that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Do I think that the music was good? It was You know what I mean? I think he went on a 2-3 song run that I was entertained by in the middle. But I think the very beginning, it felt a little bit like Uzi-ish, you know, like he was trying to do that, but it just wasn't hitting right. And in the very end, kind of like there was a lull too. However, I'm not mad that he did this because again, if you have the moment, you just go for it.
I love that he did it.
Now, but I'm not gonna say that it was the best music I've ever heard because that would be crazy. You know what I mean? The one song I do like on that project is Paid For. It's kind of like a little bit like the Jerk sound mixed with like the New Orleans thing. And like, I'm like, if he keeps running in that like more like fun lane, like Pink Dreads, Paid For, I'm cool with it. I just didn't really love the concept. I don't think like lyrically he hit it for me. You know what I'm saying? But
7,
yeah,
Paid For, and Casper are all good songs. I
did like Casper too.
I think that he had to put this out. I think that was a great decision. I think that Max is going to be given a lot of grace. I think that the conversation that I've seen online around him is like, guys, this is his first project. Niggas are saying like, oh, niggas didn't care about lyrics a week ago when other niggas were dropping some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Now y'all mad about the lyricism and shit like that. So like, he's an underground nigga who's making underground music. And if you like the underground, then this was probably a decent first project for an artist in that lane. If you're not a fan of that sound, I don't think you're going to like it because it's pretty traditional, like that stuff. But what I do like, and like I think like the last thing I'll say about this is like, you can see his mind working on some of these songs. Like with Paid For, right? I've seen him be on stream and he talks about why he started to realize why Drake is such a talented artist and how he kind of is making the songs that are catering for women and how he can like kind of do more of the melodic stuff. And then I hear that influence in like a Paid For, you know? It's like, oh, you're trying to do your version of that. So I'm like, if you continue to take cues from bigger artists and are open to learning, I think you have unlimited potential because your platform's huge. Niggas want to support you. So good first step. I just have to be honest with you too, because I don't want to like, I feel like I don't want to pull punches anymore.
No, for sure.
If niggas drop mid, you could call it mid.
No, for sure.
That's not to say you won't get better.
But do you think?
But that shit was ass.
Do you think what Plaqueboymax is doing is important to hip hop?
No.
Damn.
No.
Why?
What is he doing? Why is it important?
I think he's brought some excitement back into the space, especially for the young young artists. You don't think so? Because we just said he had the moment. So yeah, now he's not exciting.
I think niggas care about it, but I don't think it's important for rap.
I think it's important, at least in the music marketing space, because I think it's like showing people how to. I think it's deconstructing the process of making a song, which we've seen. Like we talked about Kenny Beats in the Cave and how that was exciting, right? I think it's his version of it, and he's doing it, and he's showing people not only the process, but I think he's like allowing other people in, and like someone like Anino Paid, right? Like I think someone like that. I don't know if he records on stream, but he's one of the artists who will stream and then like put out music accordingly. You know what I mean? So I think that that's important to the zeitgeist as well.
I think it's important to rap because somebody that is, and this is not a slight to Max at all, but somebody that is 10 times more talented of an artist than Plaqueboymax might one day find themselves on his stream and realize how easy it is to actually engineer their own music and start to make beats. It might inspire somebody to be super DIY, and I think it probably is inspiring a lot of kids to make their own music.
I agree. I think it's about the movement.
They was already doing that, bro. With Bentley, 9 out of 10 rappers I get on the phone with today, forget rappers, artists that I get on the phone with today are engineering themselves.
Yeah, I know.
It's not. I don't think he's doing anything to like change how niggas is looking at.
But you don't think him broadcasting the process is important?
I would think differently if BandLab wasn't such a big thing and such a big part of TikTok a couple of years ago. And like niggas like David blew up, Steve Lacy, obviously. These are all dudes who like put out and were very front facing about how I made this music on my iPhone. Very DIY,
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't think that he's necessarily pushing that forward. If we want to talk like the rapper streamer association, if we really want to get into who's pushing that and being influential with that, you got to be like, that's more Aiden Ross, Kai Cenat, because they were the first people to get rappers and artists on stream consistently, showing more of their personality and things like that. And that's kind of also too where I'm at with it on the Max stuff. And like, again, I don't want to go too hard on the nigga, but like, I feel like it's bad for rap because now a lot of marketing around these people is like, oh, we'll just throw you on a Plaqueboymax stream. We'll throw you on a Neon stream. We'll just put you on these streams and have this awkward ass, unauthentic conversation that's like kind of just like lame.
But I do have a question because you compared Plaqueboymax to Kai and Aiden, right? Mm-hmm. But how are those two comparable if Max is making music and pushing music via his stream?
Because like Tory Lanez blew up, and I know it's a scary name.
I was just going to bring him up. Tory
Lanez freestyle on Aiden's stream.
An unreleased song. It was a freestyle.
Yeah. But like that was the first like, oh, you make a song on Twitch and it goes up and this is directly going to translate to people giving more of a fuck about your music and you.
Well, and taking it a step further than the freestyle, the Tory Lanez Quarantine Radio was very impactful, I think. I think if we want to look at
he was making music on stream.
Yeah, he was making music on stream, but also cutting incredible vocals, getting in the booth, like that honestly is somebody that you could point at as being more influential and doing it first and doing it at a higher level and dropping better music.
Kenny was making beats on stream.
Yeah, Kenny doesn't get enough credit. Kenny was truly, I think, the pioneer. Well, I guess he started doing it during quarantine too, pretty much.
Kenny was the first one to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Kenny is like Max's OG. And again, I think that what's dope too is like Kenny has handled this situation with such grace.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't come off bitter and old because while he could, I think that he's taking the right mentality of like, even though I don't think what Max is doing is crazy or whatever, you want to big up the kid with the moment. This is no shade to him. He took a good idea, ran with it, and has become successful.
Yeah.
So shout out to him.
Shout out Max.
No hate. Spencer will listen next week and give us his review of it.
Well,
no.
It's not getting a listen from me.
Getting into the sports world a little bit. Let's go Stefon Diggs, Cardi B, Offset, toxic love triangle that now involves pink cocaine.
Yep.
Stefon Diggs, newly signed New England Patriots wide receiver, has been hinted about being in a relationship with Cardi B for a couple months. The original rumor was that they were kind of doing a little thing in secret while Cardi was pregnant. Now they've officially popped out. They did the New York Knicks game or whatever. And recently, Diggs and Cardi were on a boat. But the video that went viral wasn't of Stefon Diggs really talking with Cardi. He has some of his little IG models around.
Oh well, yeah, they weren't on a boat. They were on a cruise with 30 bad bitches, bro. Let's keep it a buck. It was Stefon, Cardi B, and 30 thotties.
And Diggs looked right at home, very comfortable, very in his natural element. He was entertaining the young ladies as you should do, you know what I mean? Especially if they're your girl's friend. Just being a respectable young man is what I saw.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like he had picked up a substance that like it could have been like a crushed lip gloss or something, whatever,
Yeah.
Maybe some melted like gummies or something. I don't know what was in the bag.
Yeah.
But they were excited to take it out and grab it, and he was just sharing it with the people. It seemed like he was returning someone else's bag, honestly.
That's kind of how I took it.
Yeah, I don't think that was his. No way. Not an NFL athlete. He wouldn't do something like that.
No way.
But after this went public and everyone is like already giving Cardi shit about, oh, you gonna leave Offset for cheating and pop out with a nigga like Stefon Diggs, who is known as a frequently outside person, we'll say, we're gonna give my man the benefit of the doubt or whatever.
A sniper.
Yeah. Offset obviously caught wind of the video.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was too happy because he's like, wait, if I don't have the kids, you don't have the kids. Who's watching our children right now?
Yeah.
Diggs damn sure ain't watching the kids. So I think that he took action, and now the latest news is that in their ongoing divorce lawsuit, Offset is now asking for some some bread, right? Like compensation.
What's the? Can you check the word? Because I'm on my phone.
I don't have the. I know the right. It's
I
not
sent it in the text.
support.
Spousal support. Yes. He's asking for spousal support. Cardi needs to give him some bread because even though she's gonna be housing the kids,
he's asking for money, but not the kids.
You know, I just need some bread.
He's saying the kids stay at your house still, but I need some more money.
Yeah. Suing for emotional distress. That's always a fun one that I see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I could sue some niggas for emotional distress. I'm gonna sue work for that. But yeah, I don't know. How do you guys feel about this? I don't really I don't care because like niggas is rich and is probably just gonna get more money in their pockets.
Yeah, I mean, I think I see why he did it because I do think it was in direct response to how she's been acting with Diggs because it has looked a little crazy. So I believe that to be probably the reason he's going after this extra bread. I could be wrong. It's an
I feel like he
assumption.
had been asking for it.
Huh?
Because Cardi's always been the bigger star in that relationship. So I've always assumed that Cardi has been the primary breadwinner since they've been together.
Yeah, but this is just been added to the court case as of like 2 days ago.
But
I don't think he's been asking for the bread.
I don't know what the process is, but that doesn't feel like a quick turnaround type of thing. Like, I feel like that has to be an ongoing discussion, no?
Well, you can think what you want. I think Offset saw the video on the yacht and said, I'm going to need a little of that. To be honest, that's...
why is that? That just... I don't get how he gets to that point.
What? Give me some of your money?
Yeah, like, I think he's been on that. If you wanted her money, you could have just asked for her money off jump.
And
why is that video going to fuck... Why would that video change anything?
Because he's like upset and she's like wilding.
How is she wild? She wasn't even in the video.
She was in the video. Not in the video you're talking about, but there's a lot of videos on the yacht.
Yeah,
and they posted today.
Of them together.
Yeah, and one of them is like them really together, like them getting together.
But that's not wilding. That's just her being in a new relationship.
I agree. But if that's my baby mother ex-wife, I might look at it a little different.
How are you going to look at it? What is there to look at it differently from?
Well, you have to put I'm with you because obviously Offset cheated first. That was very public. Offset was the one wilding. Offset is probably the reason this all broke down. So like from my perspective, yeah, if that's what Offset's doing, he looks petty and crazy and salty. But if I'm in his shoes, do I understand the play? Yeah. What's she doing on Instagram right now? Why is she there? Why is she there on Instagram? Why is she there with 30 IG models and her new man who's giving out drugs? Where are my children? Like you said, who's watching the kids?
But you know she had grandma. Like the kids at grandma's house. The same place that they was during the Knicks game.
You know? But like, can't you see why Offset would be
They
upset?
not with him.
Huh?
They not with him is why I'm like, you not mad. You could have got the kids, my nigga. Like you really could have if you wanted the kids that bad.
I don't know why you can't see, if you're choosing not to see my perspective.
Because
or if it's
I'm
really
like,
not, if it really, does it make sense, Jose, what I'm saying?
I think, Miles, you're putting the cape on a little bit.
I think Offset is, I think I'm giving Offset more credit. I think if he was going to be petty, he could do it better. I don't think this was the way to go about being petty. This doesn't feel like a petty move. Okay, this feels like a nigga who sees an opportunity to get money.
Let me.
This is a money grab. It's not a petty thing.
Let me put it this way: whether or not this spousal support was added to their divorce because of the way Cardi B's acting is irrelevant. Offset asking for spousal support is funny and crazy to me.
And that's why I don't think it's crazy.
Why? You're Offset. You don't need her money.
You make more money than me.
So what? I make plenty of money.
Bro.
I make plenty. Why can't we just call
Jeff
enough?
Bezos' ex-wife probably had enough to do whatever she wanted. You think she ever questioned for a second if she was going to take half that?
Well, what did Jeff Bezos' wife do before she was Jeff Bezos' wife?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It does matter because if you get in the relationship,
she had money. She had money from being Jeff Bezos' wife. If she didn't take half that nigga's fortune, she would have been good.
Well, no, it's different because she is nothing without him. We don't know her name. We're calling her Jeff Bezos' wife. Offset can go make a lot more money.
Yes.
Offset is Offset. Offset don't need that money from Cardi B.
You're saying that Jeff Bezos' wife. Again, I don't give a fuck. Sorry. Let me not be rude.
This is apples and oranges.
No, it's not.
It totally is.
I think that the person who does not make the money in the relationship, when you guys divorce, if there's no prenup, you're gonna come for the bread.
Exactly. The person that does not make no money.
No.
That's what you said.
No. The person who makes less money.
I disagree. I think if you're...
This has happened forever, though. I think that it's just always the woman who does it.
What's an example of somebody who is their own star? Not just somebody that married into money, but somebody that was their own rich star that did this.
Every famous divorce.
Name one.
I don't keep up with this shit. But I feel like they always take half.
Oh my God. Y'all just talking about whether Offset should get spousal support or not is making me realize that my relationship will never be public.
Why?
It'll never be public.
Niggas can't be talking about your running?
Because niggas like us are going to sit in chairs and debate whether my girl should be with Stefon Diggs on a boat with 30 other women. That's
sad.
Crazy.
It's sad.
And you know, to be honest, this is my take on this. I think that while this whole thing is very messy, I think the two of them did it to themselves. Because from the very beginning, the relationship was not only public, but the ins and outs and the proceedings of what went into the relationship were also public. Yes. And obviously we didn't know what happened on the day-to-day, right? But we knew about the fighting. We knew about, you know, other things that were happening with other women. We knew about, you know, we just knew when things were rocky.
Yep.
And you should, to be honest, maybe my close friends would know about some things, but the majority of the world is not going to know what's going in and out of my relationship. You're just going to see it. It's either going to keep going or it's just going to end one day. But you just have to question why.
My question to that is like...
That's a good take.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to... So like right now, would you make your relationship public?
I would make my relationship public in that people would know that I'm dating someone.
You know, like, why can't a celebrity do that?
I'm saying you can do that, but you can't be so open about every single detail about your relationship. I think some of the PDA too is like unnecessary. You know what I mean? And I'm not even talking about like kissing in public and all that. I mean just like the salacious tweets, you know what I mean? The crazy photos of Offset just, you know what I'm saying, holding her in a weird position. Like, I just think all that to me is just not something that I value.
I was going to say, I feel like, it's so difficult because then it's like, because I think the first person to bring it to the public was Cardi, right? When she got on Instagram Live, kind of calling this nigga a cheater and going crazy. This was back last year. But I'm
first person to bring the problem.
Yeah, probably the problems. Yeah.
Because like, I don't mind what they was doing before that when they was together. You know, I'm cool, be in love. You know what I mean? Do the whole like, you know, y'all are fine. When they were a happy family unit and all that, I'm like, okay, I'll go black love. You know, I hope this works out, whatever. But I'm like in Cardi's shoes, nigga keeps cheating on you, nigga keeps dogging you out. He does all this fuck shit to you, and you keeping it quiet. Under wraps, and he still keeps fucking you over. I feel like you reach a point where you have to say something in the public.
All you really have to do is when it's over, you can make some kind of public statement and be like, hey guys, especially to my fans, just so you know, this part of my life is over. It is not continuing anymore. I love and support him, but we are no longer together. And that's all you got to do, to be honest. And then you can go do the stuff with Stefon Diggs or whatever you want to do. But that's like more of a clean cut thing, you know what I'm saying?
So you're asking Cardi B to not be messy.
You know, she gonna go to IG. She's gonna go to IG Live over the black screen post 10 times out of 10.
Okay, I do.
Man, I just want better for cousin Cardi.
We don't have to cousin Cardi.
God.
We don't have to stay here forever. I just have two questions to ask both of you.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is pre Stefon Diggs. You're Offset. You're in Offset's shoes, and you're getting divorced with Cardi B. Are you coming for her bread?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
Are you?
Probably not.
I'm not either.
Probably not.
Why?
I don't see.
You have enough. You have enough.
So does she.
Why do you need?
We both have enough.
It just feels like a petty move.
It feels
What?
super
I'm spending
petty.
that money on our kids.
You have your own money. You have plenty. I don't know. That's crazy to me.
Why? It's our money. We did this together. I helped you.
Okay. Second question is taking the money out of it. You are Offset and you see the videos from the yacht excursion.
Yes.
How do you respond?
Bro, I don't. That's what I think's corny, bro. You can't look pissed in the public eye, bro. Because now you got niggas like us talking about you looking crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You can't respond to that. You got to fall back to me.
What do you do?
Quote tweet, ball up top. Keep it moving.
Keep it pushing.
Keep it pushing.
That's not my ball anymore. That is no
That's
longer
your
my
passing the rock.
Your ball now. I am taking my ass to the studio promptly.
Ooh.
Make
If
some
that
more
happens.
bullshit?
Huh?
Why?
Because great music comes from great pain. I'm putting this on wax.
I don't wanna
I'm putting
hear-
how I feel right now on wax.
Yo, I'm good off the Offset Heartbreak.
I want
I'm
that.
so good off
I'll
that
take the
song.
Offset Heartbreak song over the Offset. Oh no, that was Quavo. Never mind. My bad.
Getting your Migo mixed up, bro.
I'm getting my Migo scrambled.
All wrong. All wrong. All right. Donald Trump is letting everyone out of jail. Or not out of jail, I guess, making sure they don't go back to jail. I don't really know what a pardon means all the way. What is, because YB been free. So how does he pardon Youngboy?
I think Youngboy was still facing
Probation?
probation or pending charges from a different case. Like I think he was gonna have to continue court cases for different things.
So why be good now? Because of big dog Trump, right?
I mean, he got pardoned, so
That's what the board says.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I think we all know what this is. You know what I'm saying? Trump does this once a year to just appease the black community. You know, he's like, here you go. I'm doing more for black people.
Here's Youngboy
than
back.
XYZ. You know what I'm saying?
And Larry Hoover.
And Larry Hoover.
Pardon Larry Hoover, even though he still has a stupid amount of years in the state system. So
Exactly.
he's not getting out.
It's a play. But what I do appreciate is Youngboy back out. Because I think even though I feel like the first 3 songs he dropped are fire and then what we listened to on stream wasn't very fire. But I think we're all fans of Youngboy and what he contributes. Straight either just like pain music or very ferocious, just aggressive like gym music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I appreciate that he's out. He can go on tour. He can make money for his family, all that stuff. So I'm not mad at YB being free, but we just know what this is with Trump. You know what I mean?
Just don't go back
it's just
to jail.
appeasing. It just, another political play.
Stay out of jail, Youngboy.
Yeah, and it's like
Please.
crazy that like on Friday he pardons YB and Larry Hoover, and also the Larry Hoover thing, you could look at it as putting pressure on the governor of Illinois because now it's fully their problem. You know what I mean? And I think they're beefing. But that's what happens on Friday. Then comes Saturday, he pardons about 12 more people that get no news pickup. You know what I mean? Because these are a little bit more strategic pardons. Well, not that the first 2 weren't. You know what I mean? But these are people that were previously associated with Hunter Biden and then gave the administration information to help, catch him up. They're people that own companies. Like it does seem like something to get all the press to look over here. Well, over here, I'm going to go do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude is very calculated.
He's
Very
really
bad, man,
he's
bro.
really smart, bro. Honestly, I would have thought that like in his old age in this term, we were going to see more just like random stupid shit. But it's all definitely very calculated, very put together.
Well, I feel like he is doing a bunch of random stupid shit that is kind of fucking up our economy too. But I hear what you're saying on this tip.
You got to preface it as like bad Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Bad Trump. Trump evil. Trump negative.
Oh,
Bad.
we didn't say that.
Oh, bad Trump.
I don't like Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Donald
don't
Trump.
support Donald Trump.
That
Evil
is a
Donald Trump.
bad
Fuck
president.
Donald Trump.
If
Bad
I'm
person.
president, I'm doing the same thing.
Huh?
I'm freeing all the niggas who are pushing my agenda.
Oh, okay.
You have the ultimate power. Niggas cannot tell you no.
Yeah.
Niggas cannot stop you. I think, okay, again, bad Trump, anti-Trump. We're potting. This is unserious. I don't know anything about politics. I'm kind of moving militant like this nigga if I'm in this position. I'm so sorry.
Elaborate.
Okay, like any nigga that I fuck with, you free. I like your music. You're in jail. You're out now.
Yeah.
You're on my side of the political battle. Come join the team. I can put out merch that says Trump 2028. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm, just be a dickhead. Fuck it. Niggas can't stop you.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I think were really, well, I don't want to say good, not good.
It's all bad.
Far
this is
from
all
good.
bad. This is all bad.
But,
Bad guy.
But strategically, the pardons have shown to be very effective.
Oh my God, bro. Is that why he named it the Massator?
well,
No, like because he was the playoff Make America. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yo, they were politicking the whole time.
Wow.
Oh my God.
dog, it's a
Yo,
crazy episode of Atlanta that we're living in right now.
Jesus, bro.
It is a wild episode of Atlanta that we're living in right now. But
YB.
yeah.
Come on, man.
Go to your polls. vote against this if you want to stop this. Take action. Call your local government official.
That was hard to listen to.
Why? You don't think I'll promote that?
Hey,
You know he's out after 2, right?
To what?
2 terms.
Who?
Trump.
Yeah, he's gone, right?
oh, good luck with that.
Uh-oh.
Good luck with that.
Uh-oh.
We want him gone. We want him gone.
Oh yeah, we do. But like, I'm just saying, he might still be there.
Shit. That would suck.
No. Appreciate y'all for watching, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe.
Wait. Before we get out of here, if you want to hear us talk more about Pride Month and you also want to hear us talk about Lotto and her comments about body count, we're going to extend this over on Patreon. So make sure to hit the link in the bio. Come fuck with us on Patreon for exclusive content. We're going to keep going. So if you're having a good time rocking with us, come over there.
Appreciate y'all for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.